Good evening, JoPaddy here, and tonight I'm going to show you how to make a retro pumpkin. Stay tuned while me and my little friends crawl our way into the supply list. All right, everybody. The first thing I did was spray paint my pumpkin and my gourd with some white spray paint so that the other paint will stick to it, because the acrylic paint seemed to want to just slip off of that shiny orange that I had on there. Now I got the pumpkin and the gourd at the Dollar Tree, along with these little buttons I have. And they're little stickers. They look like little buttons. And they come in a strip, and I spray painted them white too, so that my paint could stick to them. And I'm just letting that dry before we get started. And then I got this idea from another DIY channel to put your projects on skewers and stuff. So that helps, so your fingers and your hands don't get full of paint, and you can spin the pumpkin around in your project or whatever. You don't have to get all painty and not wear gloves all the time. So the first thing I did, I wanted to tell you with the pumpkin, before I spray painted it, I took the stem off and I stuck it on here with the popsicle stick, and I spray painted that gold. So when we're done, we're going to hot glue gun the lid back on. Funny thing is, after spray painting white on the orange, it actually looks kind of pink. Anyway, before we get started, I thought I'd give you guys a little tip. I have the Lazy Susan under here, but what I like to do is use this E6000. It's extreme tack. It's tacky glue. So I put this tray on here because the design on the Lazy Susan is actually distracting when I go to paint something else. I suppose I could have spray painted that, but the main thing is that when I put this on there, everything stays intact. And if I have any leftover paint, it stays inside this bin. I can actually pour it into a cup and save it for later if there's enough there. Okay, let's get started. Here's me pumpkin. Actually, I think I'm going to put a paper plate under there. And when you can use the skewer, you can move it around like this. See, you can hold it by the skewer or hold it by this. And I actually have this. Actually, I was going to use this to set it on to dry. So let's just take the skewer and start painting, everybody. Get that little retro pink in there. And notice that I am dabbing and brushing because I want to get in everything, but the foam brush is good for that. I only have to dab when I find like a crack or some surfaces that I really want to cover. And we'll start off at the top here and work our way around. Everybody, what I did next, while the pumpkin was drying, I just decided to decorate the gourd. I just took a stipple brush and kind of painted stuff on there and put some sparkles on there and just kind of had fun with it. Nothing special, just to bring a little color to the table. Okay, then put all the dots on. They're stickies, and they come in strips. And I put the dots on there. But I want to tell you guys a little hint. If you go to do it this way, make sure that you stick this hole, make sure that you stick this wooden skewer straight through to the bottom, pretty close to it, because mine got kind of off center, and I couldn't get a hold of the pumpkin very well. It kept sliding down to the bottom, and it was just really odd to paint, because when I would go to paint it, it would spin on me too much. So, because the hole, already there's a hole there, and it was just too big. So you kind of want to make sure you go right in the middle. Okay, so what I did was after I put the stickies on, my little buttons, I painted it pink again with my sponge with pink. And now we're going to put some Mod Podge on there. I have the Super Gloss Super Brilliant Glossy Mod Podge. And this is going to make sure that my little buttons are staying on there pretty good. And I also want to give it a nice shine. So this is the next step. Let's get this done, everybody. Alright everyone, the Mod Podge is just about dry, but what I wanted to do is a final little step here. I wanted to bring that retro color in of some blues and greens from the 50s and sprinkle it across the top, and then we'll let that dry and she is done. So what I'm going to do is stipple some colors on here so I can add some bling. I'm going to stipple this on top here. And then, of course, we're going to add our topper. We've got to put our gold topper back on. So I'm just stippling, we flatten that down there and more stability. So we're just adding a little color. Then we'll add a little dimension on here with the sparkles. These are really nice colors. I love them, guys. Sometimes it's fun to just grab a brush and tap away and do fun stuff. And you want to add these sparkles and stuff while the paint is wet. Get a little more green over here. And a little more blue right there. That's a great topper. Nice and 50s. Now we're going to sprinkle some of this stuff on here. I'm doing this too because I have a little hole on top that I accidentally made and I didn't want that on there. So instead of patching the hole, I'm going to sprinkle the hole. Alright, I'm going to pat that down with the back side of my brush. And we get a nice 3D look here. There you go. Alright, we're going to let that dry. And pour another coat of the, once this dries, the paint dries, we're going to put a little bit more of the glossy Mod Podge on top. And then we'll put our topper on. Mod Podge is dry. And now we're going to put our topper back on. Glue gun is hot and ready to rock and roll. Let's put this glue on here. And then we'll set it up over there, make a little area for it with some bubble gum and peppermints. If I can find that. Oh, here's that hole right there. Got a hole in there. There we go. There she is, everyone. All done. Your retro style pumpkin that you can take all the way to Thanksgiving. Let's set it up over here, everyone. There's the setup. Of course, the kids put that other pumpkin there. That's okay. It's for the kids anyway, right? Pretty and sparkly and retro with our bubble gum and peppermints. Everyone, thank you for watching. Arrivederci.